Bryant Street Publishing presents Cascadia by H.W. Buzz Bernard. Read for you by Jonathan Hicks. Dedication. In memory of Hal Bernard, my father, who loved to fish the beautiful rivers and streams of Northwest Oregon.
Prologue. Thunderbird and Whale, Clatsop Indian Village, the Oregon coast near present-day Seaside, January 26, 1700. The young boy, unable to sleep, opened one eye and surveyed the interior of the cedar plank lodge. Embers in a fire near the center of the lodge cast a weak, flickering glow throughout its interior. Smoke spiraled lazily upward through a slit in the roof. Shadows danced on the walls. Cured salmon hung, like slumbering bats, from overhead racks. A strange amalgam of sounds permeated the building. Snores, wheezes, a soft belch here and there. The occasional sharp blurp of someone passing gas. Other than these reverberations of life, the night seemed strangely silent. The endless dampness and the incessant winds typical of the dark season along the coast had relented, at least briefly. But the boy, like all residents of the tiny village, 4 lodges perched on the banks of a short river rich in salmon and steelhead, knew the rains and gales would return. They always did. Thus this period of relative dryness and calm offered a great reason for celebration. That evening the inhabitants of the community had dined on a special meal of elk and salmon, and berries and roots. Even now the aromas of the feast lingered in the still air of the lodge. After eating, the men had sat around the fire talking and smoking, sharing stories of adventures past, while the women and children busied themselves with chores, tidying up the lodge, cleaning utensils, and shaking out the sleeping mats to rid them of as many of the ever-present fleas as they could. The pests could not be totally exterminated, however, and the boy scratched absent-mindedly at a rash of bites on his hip. He sat up on the raised sleeping platform and gazed at the area around him. Next to him, his mother and sister slept. On the other side of the room, his father and grandfather slumbered, undoubtedly exhausted after their hunt for elk earlier in the day. They had brought down a large one. They mentioned to the boy upon returning from their pursuit that they had to thrash their way deeper than usual into the dense forests of the coastal mountains. For a reason that mystified them, the elk had moved to higher ground. This, they explained, was strange behavior for the season, when the mulak usually remained close to the shores of the ocean, where they didn't have to wade through the deep, wet snows that often coated the mountains.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?